Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find out more details about us in the description of this video, including our Facebook page and our eBay store. So in this video I'm going to be reviewing this figure on the left. It's the Bartholomew Kuma, and it was part of a larger set of 8 from the Shichibukai, or 7 Warlords set. And I've actually reviewed that before, but I think only 2 of the figures, Jinbei and Hancock, were open in that one, so I haven't actually shown this figure unopened. But if you want to see the whole set of 8, I'll put a link to that video in the description of this one. The other figures in the line, if I can remember them all, so there's Jinbei, Hancock, Kuma, of course, Gecko Moria, Crocodile, Mihawk, Don Quixote, Doflamingo, and Blackbeard, or Marshal D. Teach, whatever you want to call him. So, and you know that they're from the same series based off the base, so you get this hexagonal black base, and you probably can't see that clearly, but it says 7, it says One Piece, 7 worlds of the sea. So maybe if we get that in focus, we can see it a little bit better. So that's how you know about that one. And it's actually a very rare set. It's probably one of the most expensive items that we send, that we have in our store, because you know, there's 8 of them. They weigh about 4 kilos in total. So obviously the postage cost is very expensive. And in addition to that, they are very rare. You know, they're very collectible. If you're a serious One Piece figure collector, you're going to want to get, you know, you're going to want to have the Warlords. And these were released, I think, back in 2010, so they're pretty old. And we haven't got, you know, some of the characters like Jinbei and Kuma's another one. We haven't really had many other figures of those characters unless you start going into the POPs. And the POPs are, you know, $200 plus each. So, you know, I guess that's what makes these quite collectible. Now, one thing that really strikes me with this figure is that it actually comes in one piece. Usually Banpresto figures, you have to assemble them in 2 or 3 pieces. You know, he comes at the base, and then he attaches with a couple of pins in his feet. But the figure itself is actually just one piece, which is very rare for Banpresto. And I think the reason they did that is just because of weight distribution. This actually feels solid. I don't know if it is, but it's very, yeah, you guys probably can't hear that, but it's you know, it sounds like it's real, like a donk donk. It sounds solid, and he's very heavy. So the problem is, and this is why I have Gotenks here, because here's a good example. If you have a look here, obviously the weight distribution of this figure is towards the back because of all his hair. And what actually happens is this figure joins at the waist, and he's okay now, but sometimes that kind of pops out a little bit. He doesn't fall off completely, but there'll be like a little gap that opens up in there because of the weight distribution. So I think to avoid that problem with this figure, because you can see he kind of looks like the weight distribution's okay, but you kind of have to get it perfect to avoid those kind of issues. And if they had it like normal, have a join here and have the legs as a separate piece, then that might sort of come out. So I can really appreciate that they actually did that as one piece. But you know, the figure itself I think looks great. They really got, you know, all the details that I think you would reasonably want or expect in Kuma. Obviously he's got that big sort of target printed on his jumper or his jacket, whatever you want to call it. And you also have a Bible in his hand, and it actually has his emblem on the other side. And again, you can just see some nice sort of colour toning in there. So yeah, overall I think it looks great, and I really like how they really caught the dimensions of his face, and just that kind of overbearing stare on focus for us. Especially if you kind of look from below, it really gives you that